Welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Dee Dee and this is Randy, and we're at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center on Rosemont Avenue. And as we do every week, we're going to show you some of the animals who are in your shelter waiting for adoption. And right now, this time of year, typically, we have the most animals that we will have throughout the year. We get a little break in the winter when we have fewer tiny kittens. But right now we have over 200 animals in our care, and so we definitely need to find homes for as many as possible so that we can make room for the ones who are waiting in the wings in foster care. And this little kitten is Vinny. We have plenty of kittens right now. Vinny is a little male kitten, and he has some siblings. So this time of year, most people know that kittens are born in the spring, so they imagine once school starts and it's fall, well, they must be out of kittens. No, because kittens take 8 to 10 weeks to grow to the weight where we can spay and neuter them. So the entire summer is spent caring for kittens and getting them ready for their new homes. So Vinny is ready, and one of our many kittens of all kinds of colors, personalities, and oh, he found the treats in Randy's pocket, smart kitten. And Randy said he started purring the minute he put him on his lap. So he's very cute, has cute markings on his face, and as I always say, what he looks like shouldn't matter, because you got to pick by personality, but certainly however he appears is what draws you in the first place, because we have so many. So if you are interested in teaching a little kitten the ways of the world, then now is the time, and it is a great deal to get a kitten from the shelter, because they come to you spayed or neutered, microchipped, started on vaccines, dewormed, defleed. Their rabies shot is paid for. We give you a coupon to get that at your vet, and their license is paid for. You just can't go wrong. And yes, if they've been subject to our volunteers' attentions or our foster homes, then they're very well socialized, and our foster homes spend a lot of time getting them ready for you. We are back with Autumn, a very beautiful cat. She has long puffy hair on her tail, beautiful markings on her face. She is a tricolored cat, so they're known as Torby because it's a combination of tabby and tortoiseshell. But it really doesn't matter what you call her. She is a beautiful, outgoing cat trying to figure out the treats. And she's only about 6 months old, so she's a kitten herself, even though she doesn't appear to be too kitten-like compared to our tiny ones. And that can make it harder for her to get chosen, because people usually want either a tiny kitten or a very mature cat. So she's kind of caught in the middle there. And I think that she'll probably be chosen pretty soon, but we never know for sure what will happen, because people are moved to choose an animal for very, very different reasons. And so it's, we never know what animals are going to stay here longer and wait for a home, and what animals will be taken home right away. In fact, we're going to show you a guest after the break that I'm surprised has been here as long as he has. So Autumn was in our foster care program, and actually I have on her record that she's closer to a year old, so she's not as kittenish as I first thought. She's just tiny. So as a beautiful cat, I don't think she'll have any trouble getting adopted, but it also depends in the cat room where the cats are, and when you walk through the door, her cage is kind of low. It's easy to walk through the door and start looking at cats and just pass her by. And as you can see, Randy's doing a great job of keeping her on his lap, which isn't easy, because I think she wants to get down and just walk around and see everything. So if you have been thinking about getting a pet for yourself, then it's very easy to invite you into the shelter and have you come and see all of our cats. But another thing that you can do for us, which I talk about on each show, is if you're not thinking of getting a pet right now, then you can still be of help to Autumn. What you can do is you can go to petfinder.com and print out her profile. You can go to pettango.com and do the same and post it someplace where people may not know about the shelter, where people may not already have pets, and that really helps her. The other thing you can do is share her information on social networking. You'll be able to find a clip of this video on petfinder.com if you choose to do that. But all of these ways are ways that we can tell people who might be looking for pets who either don't know the shelter is here, don't know we have such beautiful animals, or maybe don't even know that they're looking for a pet until they see the right one. All of these things are things you can do to help us get the word out. Our next guest is Mellow, and Mellow is a 6-month-old kitten, and beautiful classic tabby markings. There are two kinds of tabby. We've talked about this before. Mackerel tabby are the cats that have tiger stripes, loops around their tail and stripes going from their spine down their body. But classic tabbies have all of these beautiful swirls. They're sometimes even as individuated as little spots like a leopard. But they're very beautiful cats, and sometimes underappreciated because it's a common color for cats. More wild looking, I think. And Mellow, as a youngster, is just finding out about all of the things that the world has to offer. And I think it's kind of funny that his name is Mellow because he is quiet, but he's also kind of nervous. So he was worried about coming out of the carrier, and he was worried about being handed off to a stranger. So at his age, he'll be able to get comfortable easily with all of the new things that he'll have to face. But a lot of times people ask us about cats being in cages, and they say, you know, they feel sad that the cat's in a tiny space. But I can tell you that whenever cats are nervous, that's exactly what they ask for. They want a tiny space they can control from which to view everything before they venture out. More confident cats, like the one you just met, oh, they just want to jump down, and they already believe the world is wonderful, and they're curious, and they want to see everything new. But this is very typical for smart cats to go into a new place and be cautious. He doesn't know if there's predators here. He just found out that there's food here, which is good, a good sign, and kind people. So it is something to know about the cat that you're going to choose to take home, how compatible you are. Do you want a more cautious and careful, polite cat? Or do you want a cat that's just ready to go everywhere and be in your business and sit on the book you're reading and walk all over the project that you're working on? Or do you want a cat that will sit in your lap while you work on the computer or watch a movie? He's very comfortable being petted, as you can see, closing his eyes, relaxing. But he's going to need more reassurance in a new place than the average cat. So we recommend when you take home a cat that you put them in the bathroom for a week. And a lot of people, when I say that, say, oh no, I think that's terrible. But I promise you, we are trying to do what's best for the cats, and what cats ask for when they go someplace new is that they be given the opportunity to have a little base of operation to start out from. So when you come in to adopt a cat, we sit down with you and tell you all about that, how to do it. Our next guest is Alvin. Alvin's about a year old also, and as you can see, another color choice of cats. And this is another example of your confident kitty, who it would be very tempting to take home and just let walk around your house because he's probably not going to hide any place. But the other reason for using the bathroom for a week, one reason we talked about is for the cat's security. But the other reason is for the safety of your belongings. In order to teach Alvin the rules of the house, you're going to have to supervise him when he has access to your countertops, piano, kitchen table, dining room table, knick-knack shelves. And the way that you do that is introduce him to your house in the bathroom, and then you let him out periodically while you supervise. And he already trusts you, has faith in your stability from meeting you in the bathroom every day. where you bring toys and affection and food, so that when you let him out and he runs across the dining room table and you suddenly turn into a yelly person, he knows it's the table's fault, not your fault, because you're already awesome from the bathroom. So it is helpful for the cat to have a relationship with you before you start in on restricting him from doing things, so that he understands not to associate you with the problem, but the object that he's trespassing on. So, and again, when you adopt a cat from us, we sit down and talk to you about all of this to make it easy. And if you've had cats all your life, you just tell us that. We don't have to go into all the details of all the things that we think you should know about cats if you already know. And sometimes I've talked to people who very politely listen to the whole adoption spiel and then, you know, tell me they're a veterinarian or a dog trainer or something like that. So it is okay for you to sit down in the adoption interview and say, even though I didn't write down all my pets on my application because there wasn't room, I have all this experience and I'm prepared. Because we love it when experienced people come to the shelter to get their pets. But we have a lot of people who come here for their first pet ever. So we want to make sure that you're ready. Ready, and make sure that Alvin is ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
And that Randy is ready. We are back with Willow, and Willow is a black cat with beautiful green eyes. Not quite the Halloween cat because he doesn't have the orange eyes, but I'm sure he would, you know, adapt. And a lot of shelters do not adopt out black cats at Halloween, or in the past they have not done so. And that is because there were always these urban legends that children would go out on Halloween and do trick-or-treat, vandalism, maybe throw things at stray animals. But the ASPCA in New York did some research and found that it is not the terrible danger that we made it out to be. Now, does that mean that on Halloween there's no risk? Of course not. It is a good idea when kids are out and about for the night doing their trick-or-treating that you keep your pets in. Also, if you have pets at home and you're going to open the door for costumed people, maybe lock the pets away, because that can be pretty scary for them to see. And they may not understand the constant door knocking if you have a dog that barks whenever someone comes to the door. It's just something to think about, the comfort of your pets. And if you have considered putting costumes on your pet, then I would ask you to consider very carefully what your pet feels about that. Some dogs, the more attention people pay to them, the happier they are, and if that means wearing something, they're all about that. But many animals are very afraid to have things wrapped around them that they're not familiar with, and they wouldn't enjoy a bunch of strangers oohing and aahing over them. But if you are determined, then you need to start now, giving your pet a chance to get to know the costume and to get treats for being around the costume and for wearing it for short periods of time to make sure it's comfortable and doesn't hurt them or scare them in any way. And then you'll be ready by Halloween. So this guy, Willow, doesn't need a costume at all. He's about 3 years old, and I don't know if you can even imagine the size that Autumn was in Randy's lap. But Willow is about 3 times her size, and he is not the least bit overweight. He's just a much larger kitty. And some people like the bigger cats the better, so you may want to consider coming and meeting him and see what you think. He's also a doll. We're going to take a break, and Randy always says when I say that, we don't really take a break. We just stop the video and you get some announcements, and then we bring you some more animals. So we just want to switch from cats to dogs. So we need to do some things like wash our hands and throw all these towels in the laundry, and then we'll be back with more. Hope you join us.
Please like Frederick County MD on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at FrederickCOMD to get the latest information on actions by the Board of County Commissioners, emergency notifications, department events, programs and services, and links to online resources. Frederick County government has thousands of followers on Twitter and likes on Facebook. in addition to the county website at www.frederickcountymd.gov and FCG-TV, cable channel 19, social media is one more way we keep our citizens and visitors informed and involved in the actions of Frederick County government.
We are back at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center on Rosemont Avenue with some adoptable dogs. And our first guest is Scooby. And Scooby is amazing. So let me tell you some things about him. First of all, it's obvious he has one eye now. When Scooby arrived to us, he's a beagle, and he was in a lot of discomfort because he had glaucoma in his eye. And the pressure of that is really painful. It's similar, people who have it say it's similar to a migraine headache. But was he grumpy, or was he shy, or afraid? No, not at all. This is a great, great dog. So one of our employees took him home in foster care while he had surgery on his eye, and that is a permanent pain relieving solution. He has lost his eye, but it doesn't hurt anymore. So now Scooby can live pain-free. Yes, he cannot see as well as he used to, but he still has one great eye that is working just fine for him. But here's the great part. Oh yeah, and Randy pointed out, beagles need their nose more than anything, so he has that. But here's the great part. Scooby in foster care loves the baby he's living with, the cats he's living with, the other foster kittens he's met, the other dogs. One day, Brandy even said that she didn't bring him to the shelter for potential adopters to see. She brings him every day so that people can meet him, because he was sleeping with her baby girl and she didn't want to wake them up. So I'm telling you, this dog is just got everything that you wish dogs would have. Loves people, was so good about all of his medical treatment. And he is getting rather attached to Brandy and her family, and so we really need to find him a family of his own so that he can have everything that a beagle should have. He is a really, really nice dog, and he is about 4. So he has oh yeah, and Randy wants everybody to know that all that hair is going to grow back, and so he's not going to have such a visible scar. He doesn't care, and a lot of people don't care either, but it's just questions someone might have. But for now, he could be ready for Halloween if you wanted to give him a little pirate patch or something like that. And as I said before, you would give him treats and make sure it's comfortable for him and that he gets used to it before you expect him to do something like that. But I can tell you, Scooby's a people pleaser, and he just wants a people of his own. So we're back with Gordon, and Gordon ran right up to Richard, our videographer, and made friends. But now that the big eye is staring him down, he's very scared. Gordon came in as a stray. Someone found him at, oh no, Gordon, it's okay, at Route 15 and Route 70. Where 270 comes in. So he was really in danger. And she said that he just jumped right into her car, and she brought him over. And when she came over, he was very excited and friendly when he came in. But now that we're keeping him in a 6-foot run, our medical tech just told Randy that he's been shy and trying to back away from people that come in and get him. Didn't back away from Randy, came right up to Richard. So I would say that there's a lot of things Gordon's never seen before that are happening now. He's a great tail wagger. Oh, now he's shaking. Oh, sweetie, it's all right. It's all right. And he has a little underbite. So I think he's a very sweet dog. He just hasn't seen very many things except for Route 15 during a busy time in traffic. So we do behavior assess all of our dogs. We check out how they react to passing dogs, if they guard their food, if they mind having their feet and head touched, which he does not. So, but apparently he's a little camera shy. So we wrote that Gordon is a Rottweiler mix, but that's just my description of his black and tan markings and his underbite. We really don't know that. And a lot of times people are duped by the color pattern Just because he has a tan mouth and little tan eyebrows does not mean that he has to be Rottweiler or Doberman. Not at all. Every dog can have this color pattern that has it in their family. So he could be a Lab Terrier mix. He could be, well, I was going to just say a joke and say a Great Dane Chihuahua, but that's just silly. The point is that we can't tell by looking at a dog what his genetic heritage is, but you can get a DNA test at your vet if you want to. It's all right, Gordon. And of course, Gordon is the name that we made up. That's not his name that he was given before he came here. So you can name Gordon anything you like. And certainly, if you know anyone who is missing their little black and tan underbite dog who may have been loose around Route 15, then please let them know, let us know, because I'm sure he's missing someone. But he has had no problem growing interested in new people as long as they don't have a big, giant red eye. Oh, Gordon, it's all right. It's all right. You're so sweet. Yes, it's all right. We are back with Lana. And Lana is a beautiful black American Pit Bull Terrier or American Pit Bull Terrier mix. We don't know for sure because she came to us as a stray, but she had a rabies tag. So we checked the rabies tag and got some information, but her owners don't live at the address associated with that anymore, so we can't find them. It may be that they gave her away, and it may be that the tag on her is not hers. Sometimes, you know, people put other dog tags or collars on a dog temporarily. In any case, we aren't able to find her owner, and so she needs one. She's very pretty. She's all black. There's not another color on her, and very friendly. She is under a year old, probably somewhere between 10 months old and a year. And the reason we can tell that is by her beautiful teeth. And one of the things that dogs like Lana have to fight is the stigma of pit bulls or other bully breeds. And that is that they somehow have some different behavior than other dogs. And all bully breeds are a mix of a terrier and some bulldog. So what that means is that they share the tenacity of the terrier and the strength and loyalty of the bulldog. And that makes a great dog if you think about it, loyal and strong and doesn't give up. But one of the problems is because they've been touted as aggressive and protective in all of this, sometimes people get them for the status of it because they want a dog that makes them seem stronger and braver. And then they don't curb the bad behavior of every dog, which is jumping on people and you know, all the robust playing, they encourage that. And while bully breeds love to play that way, if you can't ask your dog to stop when you say to stop, then you have a dog that's not well controlled. And because they're big, it's important that they be taught to sit and not jump on people and walk nicely on a leash. We are back with our next guest, and this beautiful dog is, we have him as a Lab mix, but he looks just as much Plot Hound as Lab. And was he peeing on the chair? You're not a good boy. So he came to us as a stray, and we're calling him Ace. And clearly he's not house trained, so we will tell you how to do that. He just tried to pee on Randy's chair, but he sits when you ask him to. And sometimes when dogs and he knows where the treats are, when dogs sit when you ask them to and seem like they're not house trained, they could very well be house trained in a home. But in this shelter, we have a lot of animals in and out, and so we can't tell for sure. But it also could be that he lived in the yard, so he didn't understand. But when a dog is an adult, as Ace, name we made up, so not his real name in case you know someone who's looking for their houndish lab, looks like, is being very sweet, that he's going to make somebody a really great pet, and will tell you how to get that house training taken care of. Sometimes people will tell me that they don't want to get a dog who isn't house trained, but the reason that that's a wrong idea about a dog is there are things about a dog you can't change. How social they are with people, how trainable they are, how motivated by food they are, much more important than the skills they have or don't have. Because if a dog likes people and is motivated by food, then you can solve all of those problems. If you get a dog who is house trained, who is not so interested in food and is fearful or aggressive, you have a real challenge ahead of yourself. Some of those dogs do not make it to the adoption floor here at the shelter. They would end up going to rescue or into a rehab program first. Sit. Very nice. Oh, and he gives his paw. So obviously, he knows the things that people like, and he's going to be easy to motivate to learn more. So this is the kind of dog that I enjoy most working with, because his desire to learn and his interest in food is going to make that part easy, and that's all the fixable part. If you get a smart dog who's willing to work, there's no problem you can't solve. It's when you get a dog with anxiety or behavior issues that you're going to have to work through. And we need people to adopt dogs like that, don't get me wrong. We do have a few of those. But I don't like to see people turn away from a dog like this, who loves people and will work for you, because they're worried about what he doesn't know yet. Our final guest today is Billy, and Billy is a tricolored mixed breed dog that was found in Baker Park, and I really like this dog. I like all the dogs that come here because I learn to understand them and meet them and get to know what their issues are. But one of my favorite dogs is a dog very much like the one that you just met, that we are calling Ace, who is motivated by food and interested in people. Billy is a little bit different. Very motivated by food, Billy. Billy, sit. But much higher energy level. So, oh, and tries to steal. And so he is going to need somebody who gives him activities to do. He's not going to be happy sitting by the fireside doing nothing. He is going to need someone who maybe takes him to scent works. I bet you he would love that. There's nothing in my hand, so he can get no reward for mugging me and trying to get what he wants. Billy,
He's good.
sit. Good. But you can see that fast response. Like he wants to do it. He wants to do it 10 times. So I think he's going to make someone a really great dog. But he could be part husky. He could be part, good boy, get the toy. Get the toy. He could be a really great working dog because he's easy to direct and he's got the energy level of a dog that can do something complicated, like maybe agility. And even though it's not common for mixed breed dogs to do Schutzhund, if you had an interest in that, I think he could do it. So he also is a very strong dog. So Randy can verify from his experience that he took home a dog like this and named him Pepper, who's mostly German Shepherd, maybe a little husky. And it's a dog that wants more out of life than just sitting by the fireside staying warm. He wants to go places, do things, have a job, have a purpose in life. So if you have similar motivations, then Billy's going to be the kind of dog you should get. So we will be back next week with more animals for you to view from Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center on Rosemont Avenue. And I hope that you join us. There are the few things that you can do that you know about. We take towels and blankets here. We will put them to good use. Used pet supply. Billy just took out the wall. And we will also appreciate any work you can do to get the word out about these dogs. Posting their Pet Tango and Pet Finder profiles, sharing them on Facebook, and sharing them on Facebook, and helping us get the word out to people who might not know that the shelter is here. And people who are up to the challenge of a gigantic puppy. We will see you next time on Pet Pals. Thanks for joining us.